Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's January 6th, 2024. We are looking at getting some snow later this afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 20s. We have a cold front coming through that's going to bring some scattered snow showers ahead of it and some gusty south winds. So some places can see up to 40-mile-per-hour gust, mostly around the soldiers and up towards the Boulder White Clouds. And then tomorrow we'll have isolated snow showers, not really too much in accumulation, similar temperatures, and a trough, yet another trough, comes into play with north winds. Monday is the calm before the storm, not too much activity going on, and then Monday night is when things really start to ramp up. Looking at the satellite, we have lots of clouds ahead of this cold front coming through. Then this is looking at the 700 millibar. So looking at 10,000 feet, how much wind we're going to have. You can see these gusty southwest winds coming in later this afternoon. It'll be gusty for most of the area, but the biggest gusts will be coming through the Sawtooth and then to the White Clouds and north up towards Salmon. And then that pans out and disappears as that cold front comes through and just has cold air in place behind it. Looking at the HRRR forecast, you can see light bands of moisture start to come in around noon. Not really accumulate, well, it'll accumulate, but it's just not going to really start hammering down until we start getting more of these green blobs here. You can see that cold front looking more distinguished here, but that kind of starts to fizzle out as it starts to continue to head east. That'll kind of happen overnight. Those more dense bands of smaller dense bands of snow coming through the area. And snow totals for just this first little hit of moisture are going to be 2 to 3 in town and the valleys of Haley and Ketchum, a little bit less in the Sawtooth valleys. You can see these yellow and orange blobs are going to be the hot spots where we can see 5 to 8 inches of snow, possibly more in the soldiers, and over in the Pioneers, getting some pretty good snow as well. So this is kind of going to be favoring the western mountains and kind of the southern and eastern mountains as well in our area. Um, Looking at this a little bit more on the micro scale today, you can see not as much snow except for the western part of the zone. And then it really starts to ramp up a little bit more, and you can see more of these blobs in the southern reaches where we haven't been getting as much snow. And that kind of fizzled out through Sunday and then doesn't ramp up till Monday night. So looking at the GFS, we're kind of in this, back this up, we're kind of in the zonal flow today as that cold front moves through, and then this new trough enters the area and expands kind of like it has been way deep to the south. But this time, as it exits, it's going to come right overhead Monday night through Wednesday, and that's what's really going to fire off that energy to give us some snow and kind of change things up so it's looking more like winter out there. And then we have this cool upper level low kind of forming over Tuesday, giving us this little enhancement of southwest flow. And so that could be good for the southern regions that haven't been getting as much snow. And then that's going to start to drop to the south a little bit. And there had been looking like a good storm coming through on Friday. But now it's kind of looking like, it could be hit or miss. Looking at the euro is not looking as good as the GFS. Whereas the GFS, it's like still pointing the jet stream right overhead. So that could be good for us if this still comes to fruition. The one thing to keep in mind is that this is kind of reaching straight from the Arctic right down at us. So we are going to have some cooler temperatures in the forecast next weekend. That's still a ways out, but just something to keep in mind. All right, looking at the MBM forecast for snow, you can see the soldiers are going to pick up about a half an inch of water, maybe 5 inches of snow on this model, and then things start to really ramp up Tuesday during the day, mostly during the afternoon hours, and you can see the snow totals down here by Wednesday night. Could be looking at 20 inches of snow in the soldiers. Winds are also going to pick up as that storm comes through. Okay, moving on to the north. This is for at Sun Valley. Just a little hit of moisture today with about 3 inches. It's still kind of been similar to what the previous models have been saying. And then Tuesday, same story, starts to really ramp up in the afternoon. Looking at closing time at Baldy, maybe picking up about 7 inches of snow. And then it's going to keep continuing to snow about a foot, about a foot. And we'll have a little lull Thursday before that next storm comes through. But like, look at these totals. Looking at maybe upwards of 2 feet of snow by next weekend. And this is looking at Titus. Really not getting too much out of today's storm, but is going to be doing pretty well with this next one on Tuesday. Can be picking up close to a foot and a half by Thursday morning. And then not looking as strong for that Friday period, but you see it continues to keep snowing, and looks like we could have 2 feet of snow by the weekend. Vienna is looking really good, as it usually does with this westerly flow, and then northwest could get 2 feet of snow by Wednesday or by Thursday morning, and that's going to keep hammering down to numbers I haven't read in a long time of 3 feet of snow. Bench Lakes is a similar story. Looks like it's going to do pretty well, picking up a foot and a half by Thursday. Not as much after that, kind of trickling effect, but still looking at about over 2 feet of snow. And Banner's looking similar to Vienna, about 3 to 4 inches today, ramping up quite a bit for that Tuesday storm, laying down upwards of 2 feet of snow by Thursday morning, and then continuing to trickle in with that system for Friday, pushing upwards, up above 3 feet. So really exciting to see lots of snow in the forecast for next week. It continues to kind of fluctuate, but Tuesday's storm has been looking pretty similar for the last 3 days. So feeling pretty good about that one. Not too much after that. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty exciting to start seeing some snow on the boards here at China Gardens and start counting some SWE.